In this tabletop review and installation, I'm going to be talking about a stock made by Magpul. This is their ACS, or Adaptable Carbine Storage Stock. This is a mil-spec model. These are available in commercial size as well. This is a AR15 M4 specific stock. Let's see, this particular one, its claim to fame, it's got several features. It has dual storage compartments for batteries. Now, these dual storage compartments on the left and the right side are accessible from the rear of the stock. So you do not have to remove the stock from your buffer tube to get access to your batteries. That is a real plus in my book when it comes to accessory storage. For example, B5 sells a stock similar to this, and to get access to the batteries in its storage compartments, you actually have to remove the stock. So moving on, the ACS, those battery storage tubes they refer to them as water resistant. And let's see, it also has an integrated storage compartment in the butt of the stock. So you can definitely store additional components in that area as well. Now this stock is actually similar to the Magpul CTR with, of course, these advanced features on it. So it has the anti-snag release latch to help prevent accidental activation, along with a supplemental friction lock system that minimizes excessive stock movement. So that's pretty much the same type of mechanism that's on the CTR, and I've used plenty of CTR stocks, and I really like that stock and how it's designed. The ACS comes standard with a .30 thick rubber butt pad, and of course those are also interchangeable, so you can change those out. The battery storage compartments on this also provide you a sloping cheek weld, so basically you end up with a wider contact surface for your cheek. Some people like that, some people don't. The storage tubes, will store up to 3 CR123 lithium batteries or 2 AA batteries. Another nice thing about this particular stock is that the removable storage compartment covers are tethered. I've reviewed several different types of stocks that have battery storage on them, and none of the other ones had tethered covers. So let's see. The lock spring on this is a chrome silicon, which is a good thing as well. A lot of the more inexpensive stocks use stainless steel or a cheaper type of spring for their locking surface, or for their locking mechanisms. This particular stock is compatible with of course the Magpul ASAP and the ASAP QD. The ASAP Sling Plate can be tricky to use with certain stocks because of its design. The ASAP QD, not so much, but they did make mention of it in their notes. This also includes a reversible sling mount kit. It doesn't come with the actual QD sling swivel, of course. On the rear and the bottom is 1-inch sling loop. Weight of this stock is 14.1 ounces. And the length, the max is 8 inches. Max width is 2.2 inches. Length of pull adjustment range, 3.3 inches. Length of pull M4 collapsed, 11.8 inches. Length of pull M4 extended, 15.1 inches. This goes for a street price of roughly $80 to $85. Now, I want to make one mention. This is the ACS. Magpul also has an ACS-L, which is basically the same thing minus the battery tubes, just for reference. So let's get this out of the box and actually take a look at it. Okay, inside of the box, this is typical for Magpul. This is their installation instructions, and it basically tells you how to deal with the spacer pad and not to try and install this on an inappropriately sized buffer tube. You also get the standard Magpul sticker and installation instructions. I think the yellow sheet are warning instructions, not necessarily installation instructions. It also includes a plastic bullet. Now this is utilized as a tool for installation onto your buttstock. And then of course there is the QD Sling Socket. So the QD Sling Socket, let's take a look at that. Does not come installed. And basically it's going to, depending upon if you wanted to run a QD sling, you could put it right here, and you would stick the screw through the other side and then screw it down. Grade 8 bolt with some thread locking material on it. So you can put that on either side of the stock. On what we're looking at the right side of the stock here, and this is where the secondary storage compartment is, this little hinged compartment right here. This is not a waterproof compartment. It might be water resistant in some way, shape, or form, but there's no gasket material on this, so you might want to exercise caution on what you would utilize that for. 1-inch sling mount down here. Standard adjustment lever right here, and then this is our friction lock, which is, if you're familiar with the CTR, pretty much the same deal. Adjust it and then push that up and lock it in place. These are the storage compartments, beveled around here near the front of the stock, and a little bit of a beveling right up in there, and then back here is where you gain access to the battery storage compartments, and these are just rubber caps, and they pop out, and you can see that how it's captured right there. And then the whole thing is rubber, and it is ribbed, so that kind of negates the need for an O-ring since the whole assembly is rubber. They mentioned what batteries it's suitable for. I've got a couple of double A's. I'm fairly confident that whatever they say will fit actually will fit in here. Yep, 2 double A's, no problem. And closes just fine. Flip side. Basically the same setup, same type of battery storage compartment, captured. No storage door right here. Now, I'm thinking about this here. I'm not sure why the door is on the right side. As a right-handed shooter, and I was holding this rifle, I would prefer the door to be on this side. If it's on the other side, I more or less have to flip the rifle over to get access to that storage compartment. So I'm not sure the thought process behind this. Now that I think about it, it would probably make sense if there was a door on each side. Then you could just access whichever door you needed for left-handed and right-handed shooters. That might be cost prohibitive, though, to design a door into both sides of this, but my preference would be to have it on the left side. That's just a little piece of foam here to hold it up for the camera. This, well, not this butt pad, but most Magpul butt pads are replaceable. They normally have a couple of grade 8 bolts on them. You take them off and you can put a thicker butt pad on there. So you can see that's the .30 butt pad. These are pretty comfortable for the most part. This is the first ACS that I've actually sat down and really spent any time with. I've actually never used this on one of my own personal rifles. The geometry of this is not unlike one of the B5, the enhanced B5 Bravo stocks that have the battery storage tube. So you have these slopes on here which provide a nice cheek weld. This is typical Magpul quality. I'm not sure what that is right there. I glanced at that. That's the first time I saw that. It looks like a panel of some sort. I'm gonna go ahead and off camera. I'm gonna take this butt pad off and see if I can figure out what that is, because I'm just curious. The installation process for this is basically you're going to use the tip of a bullet or a tip of this tool, and I believe you're going to put it right down in there, and you're going to lift up on that to slide this on. In the past, stocks that require this type of tool are not the most convenient, but it is designed to use a standard 5.56 round, so even if you're in the field and you need to remove this for some reason, chances are you're going to have at least one unfired bullet around to use as a tool for this. So good design there. So let me go ahead and I want to take this rear butt pad off and see what this little notch panel is on the back. Okay, I went ahead and removed the butt pad just in case you've never seen a Magpul butt pad by itself. 2 bolts are removed, and then this just pops off, so easily replaceable. While we're at it, let's take a look at the inside. You can see the little rubber retention pieces for these caps, and then this is the inside storage compartment. Now the little notched piece down here that I was referring to, the reason I was a bit perplexed about this is because there's no mention, I've never read any mention about what this is for in online or in the instruction manuals that comes with this. And as you can see, it is removable, so it's designed to come out. The only thing I can think of that this might be used for is if you were using this on some sort of a DMR rifle and you had some sort of a monopod that was going to attach to your rear stock, that maybe this is designed so you can slide a monopod on here and then put this back on. It's the only thing I can think of. But if any of you happen to know why this is here on the ACS, and you know more than I do, feel free to leave me a comment, because I would definitely like to know. So let's go ahead and get this installed and take a look at its fit on a standard mil-spec buffer tube. Okay, this stock goes on fairly easy, of course, assuming you have a tool like the bullet. The one thing I noticed, of course, is you've got to make sure that you're using a tool that's not too long. If you're using a real long tool, it's going to hit this part of the stock down here. So the bullet or something roughly that same length is going to work out great. My initial thoughts after installing this is it's heavy. It's 14 ounces. And you may not think that's heavy, but you know, most of my rifles, my stocks run that I run on those are 4, 5, 6 ounces. So this is substantially heavier than what I'm accustomed to running. But this is a beefy, heavy-duty stock with built-in storage compartments and the friction lock mechanism and so on. So there's going to be some bulk due to the design of this. The friction lock system on this works fine. It locks up tight. You can see I'm wiggling this as it's moving around. No wiggle at all. If I release the friction lock, we got a little bit of wiggle. So it's not a lot of wiggle to start out with, but the friction lock just eliminates all the wiggle. This happens to be a Spikes Tactical mil-spec buffer tube. And that's basically the limit of our length of pull adjustments right there. Moves pretty smoothly on the Spikes Tactical buffer tube. Fully collapsed, you can see this is a Magpul ASAP QD Sling Plate, and there are no clearance issues here. You might have some clearance issues if you actually had a QD on here. It depends on what kind of QD you might be using. The low profile ones with the recessed push buttons would be the ideal choice for something like this. Ones with big buttons that stick out, it's possible it might come in contact here. I don't have any QD rings to test with this, but if this is anything like the other Magpul stocks, you just want to be a little bit selective about which QD sling swivel you would use in a position like that. Other than that, the Magpul Black obviously matches the rest of the Magpul furniture perfectly. This is a Magpul Mo Plus grip right here, so colors are good. Fit and finish is good. Battery storage compartment is nice. I do wish this other storage compartment door was on this side, but that's not a deal breaker. The QD attachment point can be mounted to either side. I'm not going to mount that because I wouldn't use it anyway. And then, of course, your tool works as it should. I'm always afraid I'm going to break these, so I have a tendency of never using these. I always use an actual bullet or a different type of tool. But I know people that have used these over and over and over again, and they've never broke on them. So I might just be paranoid about using it and breaking it. So great stock. Great functionality, great storage capability, friction lock mechanism, bulletproof Magpul design, like always. You know, I don't use 1-inch slings by themselves, but it's good that there's at least one sling attachment point there. And then, of course, the QD, battery storage compartments on both sides. And, of course, if you don't need the battery storage capability, Magpul has the the ACS-L without the battery storage compartments here. I do believe that one still has the storage compartment over there. So this particular little storage compartment, you can get some batteries in there. Of course, I didn't think of trying that. Grab a couple of AA's real quick before I wrap this video up. So you can see that we could easily get, I think we could get more than 2 AA's in there. This would be a good storage compartment if you're running with optics that have CR2030 batteries. You know, that would be a good storage spot for those. Ooh, it's kind of tight. I don't think I can get 3 AA's in there. Yeah, we're not going to be able to get 3 AA's in there. It's just too tight. You could get 2 AA's in there and you'd still have room for maybe some CR123 batteries or some CR2030, those button cell type of batteries. So a pretty gratuitous storage area right here. I like it. All in all, another quality Magpul product, although this is definitely not a new product. This has been out for a while. So that's going to wrap up this tabletop review and installation of the Magpul. Got double check my notes, make sure I covered everything. Yep. Of the Magpul ACS stock.